English language learner, do you ever get confused by words like trip and journey, effect and effect, shade and shadow? In this video, I will teach you how to distinguish between 10 pairs of commonly confused words in English language. By the end, you will know the difference and you will feel confident using them correctly. My name is Anna and I help English learners just like you get from basic speakers to confident communicators. So let's get started. The first pair of commonly confused words is affect with an A and effect with an E. These two sounds almost the same, but one is an action and the other one is a result. Affect with an A is a verb. It means to change or influence. Think of an A as an action. Example, the cold weather affected the plants in the garden. It changed them. Watching sad movies always affects me. It influences my feelings. It makes me feel sad. Effect with an E is a noun. It means the result or the consequence. Think of an E for end result. For example, the medicine had an immediate effect. It had an immediate result. What was an effect of the storm? What was the result of the storm? So remember, affect with an A is a verb. It means to change or to influence. Effect with an E is a noun and it means the end result. Now let's take a look at the second pair of words. Trip and journey. Both mean traveling, but there is a small difference. Trip is often about going somewhere and coming back. It can be short, like a day trip, or longer, like a business trip. Here, we often focus on the whole experience or the purpose. For example, we took a weekend trip to the mountains. We went and came back. Another example, how was your trip to Paris? We are asking about the whole visit, the whole experience. Journey usually talks more about the act of traveling itself, especially if it's long, difficult, or one way. It emphasizes the time spent traveling. For example, it was a long journey from my village to the capital city. The focus on the long travel time. He described his journey across Africa. The focus here is on the long, perhaps difficult travel. So trip is the whole experience, whereas journey is time spent traveling by car, on foot. This third pair of commonly confused words is shade and shadow. So both are about darkness caused by blocking the sun, but they aren't the same. Shade is the general area where sunlight is blocked. It's a place where it's cooler and darker. Think of a big tree. Under the tree, there is a nice cool shade. It's a large area. For example, it's too hot. Let's sit in the shade. We want to be in the cool area. Shadow is a specific dark shape that a person or object makes when it blocks the light. For example, When you stand in the sun, you make a shadow on the ground. It looks like your shape. The child was afraid of his own shadow, the specific shape following him. The building casts a long shadow across the street, the specific shape of the building. Shade is a dark, cool area caused by something is blocking the sun, whereas shadow is a specific shape. The fourth pair is advice and advise. These two words sound almost identical, but one is a thing, a noun, which is advice, as in ice, and the other one is an action, a verb, advise, as in rise. Advice with an C is a noun. It means suggestion or recommendation about what someone should do. It's an uncountable noun, so we don't say advices and we don't add an article, and advice is grammatically incorrect, so keep that in mind. You can say you get a piece of advice. You can use a quantifier, a piece, with advice if you want to use article a piece of advice. Or you can say some advice is also grammatically correct. For example, my teacher gave me some good advice about studying. I really need your advice on this problem. I need your suggestion. What should I do about it? Advise with an S is a verb. It means to give advice or suggest something. Think of an S in advise for suggest. For example, I would advise you to study hard for your exam. Here, advise is the action of suggesting. Another example, the doctor advised him to rest. The doctor suggested that he rests, that he takes some rest. Let's summarize that. Advice is pronounced with an S sound and is spelled with an C, with a C, is a noun, uncountable noun. We can say some advice or a piece of advice. Whereas advise, it's a verb, which is spelled with an S, and it means to recommend, to suggest, and also it's pronounced with a voiced Z sound, advise, advise, not with a voiceless S as an advice. So practice pronouncing those two. The fifth pair of commonly confused words is loose and lose. These two sound very similar, but they're different types of words. Lose is a verb. It is pronounced with a voiced Z sound. Lose, lose. You can hear a vibration here when you pronounce it. Lose. It means to misplace something, not to win or get rid of something. For example, I always lose my keys. I misplace them. Did our team lose the game? Did they not win? Another one is loose, loose, and it's pronounced with a voiceless S sound, as in snake. Loose is an adjective. It means not tight or not fastened. Example, my shoelaces are loose. They're not tight. The dog was off the leash and running loose in the park. The dog wasn't fastened. So remember, lose is a verb. It's pronounced with a voiced z sound. You can hear vibration when you pronounce it. Whereas loose is an adjective. It means not tight, not fastened, and it's pronounced with a voiceless s sound, as in snake. The sixth pair of commonly confused words is borrow and lend. These words are often confused because they relate to temporary giving and taking, but they mean the opposite action. Borrow is a verb. It means to take something from someone temporarily with the intention of returning it. For example, can I borrow your pen for a moment? I want to take your pen. She borrowed a book from the library. She took it from the library. I often borrow books from Toronto Public Library. Lend is a verb. It means to give something to someone temporarily, expecting to get it back. Can you lend me $5? Can you give me $5? The bank will lend you money if you have good credit. The bank will give you money. Remember, you borrow from someone and you lend to someone. Borrow from someone, lend to someone. And the bottom line here is borrow is an act of receiving or taking something, and lend is an act of giving something to someone with an intent of then getting it back from this person. The seventh pair is then and then. These two words sound almost the same, but they have completely different uses. Then is mainly an adverb that refers to time or sequence. It means after that, next, or at that time. First, I'll finish my homework, then I'll play video games. Indicates sequence of actions. Back then, life was much simpler. It refers to a specific time in the past. Then is a conjunction used for comparisons. She is taller than her brother. Compares height. I like coffee more than tea. Compares preferences. Quick tip here, remember then for time. The eighth pair of commonly confused words is quiet and quite. This is another common one where a single letter makes all the difference in meaning. Quiet is an adjective, means making little or no noise, silent. Example, please be quiet in the library, asking for silence. It was a quiet evening at home. Quite is an adverb. It means fairly, very, or completely. It modifies adjectives or other adverbs. For example, the movie was quite good. I'm quite sure I locked the door. I'm completely sure of it. Bottom line here is that quiet, E comes before T, and quite, E comes after T. Quiet is an adjective which means silent or making no noise, and quiet is an adverb that modifies other adverbs and adjectives. Ninth pair of commonly confused words is accept and accept. These two words sound almost identical, but they have opposite meanings and different grammatical roles. Accept is a verb. It means to receive something willingly and to agree to something. Accept. Example, I accept your apology. I receive your apology. Did you accept the job offer? Did you agree to take the job? Accept is usually a preposition or conjunction. It means not including or other than. As a preposition, it means not including. For example, everyone except John came to the party. John did not come. He was excluded from the group. The store is open every day except Sundays. Sunday is excluded from the open days. Conjunction means only or but. Example, I would go with you except I'm too busy. I would go, but I'm too busy. She knew nothing about the plan except that it was dangerous. She knew nothing other than it was dangerous. Let's summarize here. Let's do a quick recap of accept and accept. Accept means receive something or agree to something, whereas accept, not including. Accept is a verb and accept can be a preposition or a conjunction. And finally, our last pair, especially and specially. These two adverbs are very similar in meaning, but there is a subtle difference in how we use them. Especially is an adverb. It means particularly, above all, or more than usual. We use it to highlight one thing among many or to show something is notable. For example, I love all fruits, but especially strawberries. Strawberries are my favorite among all fruits. The weather was especially cold last night. It was colder than usual. Above all, particularly, more than usual. Specially is also an adverb. It means for a specific purpose or in a special way. Example, I baked this cake specially for your birthday. The cake was made for that specific purpose. The room was specially designed for children. It was designed in a particular way for children. Quick tip here, if you can replace the word with particularly, use especially. If you can replace the word with for a specific purpose, use specially. All right, that was a packed lesson. In this video, we looked closely at 10 commonly confused words in English that may look or sound similar but differ significantly in their meanings, spelling, and use. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more educational content. Also, if you want to find out your current English fluency level, then check out the description box below for a quiz that I created for you so that you can check your English fluency level. And I'll see you in the next one. See you on the flip side. Bye.